Hello, fam bam. It's been a very long time since I've vlogged. I've got the mic out because I am so ready to do a little Q&A and life catch up because obviously I haven't vlogged since my last show. So I just want to talk about everything that's happened, what's going on, because it's been 2 weeks now since show day. And I'm currently on the gorgeous Gold Coast for the World Championships, and I get to watch and spectate, which has been so much fun. I have been thriving. I'm happy. I've got new hair. This is actually my natural hair color. So I just wanted to go back to natty, and I think natty is always better. Let's be real. But yeah, no, everything's been great, and my reverse diet is going really, really well. I'm feeling really positive and motivated at the moment. It's going well. It's not perfect. I'll fully admit to that. I'm going to check in with my coach when I get back home to Sydney next week and just do a full debrief. It's definitely the nutrition department that I need to be a little bit more, I guess, structured with, but that's okay. Like, that just comes with setting a routine and execution, action and execution. Like, you have a goal, but you're not going to get there unless you actually take action. So I need to just have more structure around nutrition. Because obviously when you're in prep, you have so much structure and you're so like straight 180 for, so long. I think a trap that a lot of girls get caught in with the reverse is that they forget that food is abundant and they go a bit crazy. And I definitely have experienced that in the past, but this time around, it's not really been a case of that. It's just been a case of I've had a lot of social events on that I don't necessarily want to say no to, that I think I could have navigated a little bit better. Like, if I'm going to be so accountable and harsh on myself, I think I definitely should have made some healthier choices. I think there's been maybe one or two too many sweet treats and stuff like that. But you know what? That's just life, and that's okay. It's just that right now I do need to be careful, as, if you don't know, when you go through a big fat loss phase, what happens to your fat cells and your body, all the hunger hormones are kind of freaking out because you've just, lost a lot of body fat, and your fat cells have essentially just shrunk. They haven't disappeared. And because our body is always striving to survive, the fat cells are kind of just waiting there, ready to grow again and ready to duplicate even. So that's why it's really important to reverse diet correctly. And also that's why a lot of people yo-yo diet a lot. If you've lost a lot of fat and then for some reason you put it all back on and you don't know why, it's like a physiological thing. I've actually been watching the Biggest Loser documentary on Netflix, and it's basically about that. Like, all of these people, these contestants on the American Biggest Loser, they go in there for 7 weeks and they lose like 100 kilos or whatever. And then they go back into the real world and they don't know how to reverse diet and they don't have the education. And yeah, anyway, bit of a rant there, but I definitely want to bring you guys along the journey, and I want to be really open and vulnerable with you guys. And yeah, so it'll be fun. So yeah, I apologize for the lack of vlogging. I've just been catching up with everyone because I've been a bit of a hermit in prep. But yeah, let's get into these questions. So there's a lot. This is just one question box that I haven't even looked at yet. First question, are you going to keep competing? Undecided. I definitely think I have unfinished business in the competition world. And even today, Ari, who's like the main, one of the owners of FMG, I saw him today and he said to me, Kayla, you're the next big thing. And I'm like, I'm trying to be, like I definitely, based on my feedback as well, like I literally have it all. So, I know I have the density, I know I have the physique, the structure, the genetics, and the willpower and the work ethic to compete and to compete successfully. It's just a matter of timing for me, if I will compete again, to be completely honest. It's a matter of what's going on in my life. I don't really want to force a prep into my life. I believe this season I forced this prep into my life, and the outcome, it was still amazing, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted from a prep. So I think it's all about timing. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind getting back on stage when I'm 36, 35. Like, guys, I am not kidding. Today, the bikini 35 plus, the bikini athletic 35 plus, Physique's immaculate. Like, I feel like you hit your peak when you're 35. So give me 12 years maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know. It just depends what's going on in my life. Like, yeah, it's undecided, but I am so content with the fact that I can live my life and continue to inspire and continue to work with my flex girls and still be an elite athlete and not get on stage until I'm 35. Like, I'd happily do that. But again, undecided. Watch me get on stage next year or something. I'm going to be watching back this vlog being like, psych, I'm in prep. How to not gain stacks of face fat when gaining weight. Yeah, so this is so common. And I think sometimes in your face, it's actually inflammation in your face. So sometimes it's not necessarily body fat. Like when I'm inflamed, like after flying or even after my show, I noticed my face immediately was just very like inflamed from alcohol and stuff. But to be honest, I'm sorry to say that when you're gaining body fat, you cannot pick and choose where it goes. Like different people have different body parts that, you know, may drop and gain fat, you know, first. A lot of women, we obviously hold fat on our triceps, our hips, and butte, and face is pretty common as well. I don't think you can't spot reduce fat, and I don't think there's anything you can necessarily do about face fat. I just think calorie deficit is probably your best friend there. A lot of people were asking, and I answered this on Instagram, what does conditioning mean when I got my feedback? Yeah, so conditioning is essentially, just to be fully transparent, it's body fat. Like if someone is really conditioned versus someone who's not as conditioned, it's just body fat. So I believe I probably that I needed more condition and I needed to be tighter. So therefore I probably needed to be maybe like a kilo or so lighter on the stage. I would have looked a lot different. Even just 1 kilo would have made a big difference. Or even, I don't know about 2, I would have looked, yeah, maybe a kilo difference. So that's what conditioning means. What's next? Another comp or chill and make babies? Yeah, well, exactly. Like that's the thing. It depends on the trajectory of my life. Ez really wants kids, obviously. He's like more clucky than me. So yeah, I mean, it depends if I want to be a young mum, if I want to have kids sooner rather than later. And you know, I also need a Euro summer. Okay, I need a Euro summer. That's next year. That's not booked in yet, but it's booked in my brain. Euro summer. So yeah, I definitely think that competing is absolutely not on the cards for the next 12 months. And yeah, it just depends what happens in my life. What happens in the life? But I still will be involved. Like in saying all this, I still want to come to all of the shows and be a part of the community because I just, like I'm passionate about this sport and I love it. And, you know, I'll probably have clients in shows and everything as well. So it's like, I'm still going to be here and I actually love being a spectator. It's great. Is Eric Christian? Do you both go to church? Congrats on your amazing achievements this year. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, Eric's Christian. I'm baptized Catholic, but I'd say I'm also Christian. And yeah, we both go to church together. We go to Christian churches, and we go to churches in the hills, or we go to churches anywhere in Sydney. Obviously that we know people, we have friends and family that go. We go on Sundays, Sunday mornings normally. And Eric he's very passionate and his faith is very important to him, and I absolutely love that. And I think it's, you know, it's really important to have the same values in faith, obviously, as your partner. And we absolutely do. So yeah, I thank God every day for Eric. How long are most girls in comp prep for? Really thinking about it. So comp prep is like a minimum of 20 weeks mostly. Like some people who are freaks and who have been doing this sport for like more than a decade can do a prep in like 8 weeks, 10 weeks. That's not normal, but that's like, you know, genetic, amazing people. But yeah, 20 weeks you're looking at definitely of cutting. That's not including the pre-prep phase, you know, building muscle, etc., etc. What's your go-to meals while on prep? Yeah, it's definitely chicken and rice. Like, hate to be classic bodybuilder, but like chicken and rice is just a staple. I love protein oats, but that's both on season and off season. Protein oats, they do tend to start tasting a little bit too good while I'm in like a severe deficit, and I do end up just replacing protein oats with chicken and rice, because even the taste, like, because I make really good protein oats, even the taste of that just really like kind of almost triggers my craving, so to speak. But yeah, so those two things. Do you think being in a relationship made the prep harder? How did you juggle it? You look so good, by the way. Thank you. Yes. So being in a relationship and being in prep, it's extremely hard. And I think a lot of people would relate to this, especially if your partner is not in prep with you, because it's a strain on your relationship, because when you're in prep, you're spending 6+ hours a day in the gym. You're worrying about your food. You're constantly in like stress mode, and it absolutely affects the other person. Like, there's no doubt in that. You're almost like absent in your relationship because you're so hyper fixated on the stage. And that was definitely me. And I fully was aware of that. And that's something that Ez and I had a chat about, because, we were saying, he was like, it was our first year of dating, and we're supposed to be making memories together, and you were just in prep. And I'm like, that's true. It's kind of sad. I think I learned that. And yeah, I look at people who, prep with partners, and if their partners aren't a bodybuilder, most of these people already have kids and they're married and stuff. So it's like, that's different. When you've been together for 20 years, that's fine. Like, that's exciting. But in your first year of relationship, like, it's, especially in your 20, I'm in my early 20s, I'm 23. Like, it's very much about timing. And I definitely think, it's straining on the relationship and on your partner. And yeah, so, hats off to Eric for helping me through my prep. I'm very appreciative of him, because even just like living with me, like whether you're my partner or not, because I've lived with my mum through prep as well, and my mum's like, you need to warn Eric that shit's about to go down. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. Oh yeah, and the question said, how do you juggle it? Honestly, I just think it's just really hard to juggle it, and I don't think there's really any juggling. Like, if you're putting your prep first, you're putting your prep first, and that's what you have to do. You have to put your prep first. I think there is no juggling it. I think your partner needs to really pull through for you, and see life through your eyes, and be there to support you, be extra cautious with you, be extra sensitive with you. And I think as well, for me in prep, I had to really still be aware of Eric and grateful, and yeah, it's hard to juggle, I'll say that. What's your favorite meals to cook at the moment? I really don't cook much, I'll admit. I am very much a meal prep queen, in terms of I actually get my food delivered as of late, from a meal prep company, Food for Fitness. If you're in Australia, code Kayla10 to save. If you want a discount, they're really good. They deliver all my foods fresh, so I don't actually cook. But if I was right now to cook, I'll give you two that are coming to my head. Number one, protein oats. If that's cooking, I don't know. But I make them really good. Like, ask anyone, my protein oats are the best. Number two, I love a salmon pasta. I'm really good at making salmon pasta. What else? That's literally all I can think of. I'm not a cooker, but I aspire to be a cooker one day. Maybe when I have children, I'll start cooking. How many hours a week do you dedicate to fitness to be able to compete? You mean how many hours a day? It's like 6 to 8 hours a day to compete. It's a full-time job. Like, every pro on stage today pretty much does this for their full-time job. There's not many that have a 9 to 5 that are pros, and that well, look at everyone who wins. They do this full time. So you absolutely can compete, don't get me wrong, and be a pro and win if you work like a 9 to 5 or something like that. But it just takes up a lot of time. It would be really difficult. And even people who are parents, like, people with like 3+ kids, I don't know how you guys do that, but you need to have a really good plan of attack, that's for sure. Would you change physique classes to have better hope of placing / your back growth? I think this is coming off so I've had a few questions about like if my back is judged. No, my back's not judged. And would I change classes? No, I believe I'm very much bikini, because my structure. Like, I don't really have a dense core or midsection. My arms are very long and I would say skinny. Same with my legs. They're not the most dense. I am definitely the smallest. I am bikini. I'm the smallest category. I don't think I could ever move up to athletic. I'm just not that body type. Like, you have to be very dense and you also have to bring crazy conditioning, which I naturally, I believe I'm a softer look. My SD card just ran out mid answering that question, but my physique is just not any other category. Like, there's no doubt about it. I am bikini. I don't think I could even grow into another category. Wellness, definitely not. I'm way too tall. And athletic, I think I'm a softer look. I don't think I can bring that conditioning just based on my genetic. Yeah, I'm definitely bikini, and I think it's just a matter of being tighter on stage, on show day. It's just a matter of, yeah, body fat. That's all it is. It's as simple as that. And yeah, my back will never be judged, unfortunately. That's okay. What's your why that makes you get out of bed in the morning? I like this. I believe my why changes every single day, and I think that's a cool perspective to have on life. Every day is full of new opportunities and new possibilities that you can't even predict. And I think surrendering to the fact of the unknown and surrendering control over situations and just bringing a positive light and energy to every single day is amazing. I also like to think, in the morning, like, whatever conversation I have, whatever, experience I have today, whoever I meet, whoever, walks into my life today or in my path, it's all for good and it's all for a reason. And I love having that why. Another thing, like a random little thing I do in the morning, is I like to really just repeat in my brain, thank you, thank you, like, just be grateful for waking up in the morning. I think it's just as simple as that. Be grateful for the fact that you're healthy, you're alive, you're waking up in the morning, it's another day, you're gorgeous, you're only this young and amazing now than what you will be tomorrow. So, yeah, I think that's definitely like a bit of a mix of my why in the morning. And I think it changes every day. Do you drink at all when you're training, or no alcohol? Absolutely no alcohol in prep. I drink occasionally in life, like now in my off season, just on the weekend with friends. I love a bottle of wine. I obviously celebrated a little bit with my friends last weekend after my show and got a bit drunky monkey and stuff. But I really don't like being hungover. So I don't particularly enjoy going out and getting drunk often. I just love like dinners with wines. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. What made you want to become a pro bikini model? I love this question. I basically, before COVID happened, I was a swimmer and I very much wanted to make the Olympics in swimming. And then life happened. I moved to Byron Bay, and swimming just kind of, the doors just kind of closed for me with swimming and stuff. And I fell in love with the gym when COVID started happening. Where I was living, we had like a home gym. So I was just training in the home gym. And then what actually happened was I put on a lot of weight, and I felt really not comfortable in my own skin. And I remember I was like going for walks every morning on the beach in Byron, and I was just like, what am I doing? I was trying to, because if a lot of people can relate to this, like being a swimmer especially, you can eat a shit ton of calories because you're burning like 6,000 calories a day because you train like 5 hours a day. So I was going from that, like fueling like an athlete, to just living, and then my appetite was still there. So I found it really difficult in that time, and I was walking on the beach in the morning and I was just searching for like a purpose, like a passion. And I started listening to health and fitness podcasts, like nutrition podcasts, like because I wanted to sort of get in control of my nutrition again. And then somehow I discovered the world of bodybuilding. I started listening to bodybuilding podcasts because I was in the gym. I started implementing things. And that was when I was like, oh no, this is cool. I love this. And then I wanted to study my Cert 3 and 4 in fitness. So then I started doing that. Plus I was doing my degree at the same time, all online, because this is all during COVID. And then I reached out to a coach because I wanted to work with a coach, because I wanted someone to support me. And that's how I just fell in love with it. And I just, started with a coach, did my first comp, went to another coach, did my second comp, went to my current coach, and did all the rest of my comps. And it just kind of unfolded. And then obviously after my first competition, I realized this is my thing. Because it kind of brings out the competitiveness in me, the elite athlete in me, and it teaches me discipline and control. And I think, I just want to be doing this, forever. Tips for increasing calories up post comp with minimal fat gain. So that old chestnut. It's exactly what I'm doing. So essentially, you just need to slowly reverse, and you also need to be disciplined with food choices. Food choices matter. Not all calories are equal. And if you're just eating loads of crap, you're just gonna, obviously put on the body fat quite quickly. You need to ensure that you're still obviously training as you were, with intensity. And it's just all about really being disciplined. You cannot kind of get into a binge cycle. You need to continue the discipline that you flexed in prep. And that's the hardest part, because you feel like, I'm deserving of a break and this, that. No, you need to continue to be disciplined. And then what happens is the scale will slowly edge up and adapt. Your metabolism will slowly adapt to the calories you're eating, and then you can increase calories, and they'll let your metabolism adapt to those calories and then increase. And then it's basically like a process of letting your body heal and adapt. Because our body is very smart. It's a process called metabolic adaptation, where your metabolism does adapt to the food you're eating without gaining body fat. So that's exactly what you want basically to happen. And you need to feed it. You need to be really consistent and patient. And you need to feed your body, consistently as well. Do you struggle when you are in a deficit? I find it hard to stick to it because I'm a hungry gal. I'm a hungry gal too. I call myself a big back for a reason. I'm hungry as well. Yes, I do. Obviously, a deficit is, it's challenging. And I think, if being in a deficit isn't challenging, then we'd all be walking around shredded, okay? So that's the reason why we're not all shredded and why not many people are shredded, because being in a deficit is challenging. But you need to ensure that you are, following protocols. It's just a matter of following protocols correctly. You're doing what you need to do and you're not thinking about it too much. You're kind of just being very logical and black and white about it. So you're doing it or you're not doing it. So you need to do it and follow your plan to a T. That's why it's really great to hire a coach and not just try and do whatever you want. Be in a calorie deficit without a professional actually guiding you. Because your coach will help you and nurture you and keep you accountable. And I think that will definitely help you not struggle as much when in a deficit. It is obviously challenging, but that's all part and parcel of it, especially in a comp prep that's extreme. You're overtraining and, obviously underfueling, and it's about, I guess balancing recovery with all of that. But a deficit, sometimes it doesn't have to be that challenging either if you actually have the right protocols and you're set up nicely. So that's definitely one of my goals, to kind of have the ability to, be in a deficit and not feel like I'm withering away, just have controlled fat loss phases and controlled maintenance phases. I definitely want to build my metabolism up to that point, and that's my goal in this reverse diet. We're going to be a balanced queen, just like all of my flex girls. I think I'll wrap up the questions there because I've been waffling on for a while now. You fancy, huh? Let me see your hands. Wave them at them bitches hating on you with their friends. Girl, you got it.